Hello, Mongoose Clan. Welcome to another stream, a Sunday stream. This is a special Sunday for Celts out there. It is the celebration. Why won't this get off my screen? There we go. It is the celebration of it is the celebration of Alban Arthan. Let me clear this extra junk off here. You guys don't need to see double chat. It's not going to allow me to move it. Turn this off for now. There we go. Okay. Now what? Okay, so here we are, here to celebrate Alban Arthan. Celtic festival here started on the 21st, and it ends, I believe, on the 2nd of January. The big thing for Alban Arthan, otherwise the winter solstice for Druids, is that it's a representation of when the earth starts to become warmer, light starts to come out, and things start to become brighter, and you start seeing little signs that there's new life to come, that there's hope in the future. And they represented this through a story where the great oak tree, or the tree of life, as some might call it, the great oak tree engages in battle with the holly tree, which the holly tree is known as a traditionally winter tree, but for the Celts, the holly tree represented the coming of darkness, because that was when days got shorter and days got colder. A lot of life seemed to disappear. So they represented it in this way. The oak was the new life coming, leading to spring. And so this was when the fight began. Because before the winter solstice, the days are continuously getting longer and colder. And so the holly tree is in control. But then, why does it keep repeating or keep moving on to a song when I said it to repeat? Because that's not my music. I'm trying to play my music so I don't get copyright struck. Okay. So, it's the Alban Arthan is the battle between the oak tree of life and the holly tree, leading to spring. And in spring, or when spring starts, that's when we have the next festival called Imbolc, and that's another celebration of life. But right now, it's the battle to reach that new life. So that's what it symbolizes here in the for the Celts. And that's part of where you see a lot of things with like stone circles and things like that. There's still a place today. You can see the video here titled "The Tomb of Newgrange." Newgrange is a place where you can go. I think you have to pay. I think you have to buy tickets to go there on the winter solstice, and it's pretty pricey. But it's set up in such a way that it creates a beautiful display on the winter solstice when the sun comes in alignment, and it's a very old tradition, but a very interesting relic of the past that we can still see today. To give you an idea of how ancient this tradition is, this tradition goes back at least 5,000 years. They don't know, they're not exactly sure when it started. It could have gone back much earlier than that, but it goes back at least 5,000 years, which is quite a long time in terms of traditions carrying on. And so these celebrations that they have, they still continue on today. A lot of the other things, when it comes to Celtic polytheism, a lot of the daily life things aren't seen as much, but in terms of the festivals, a lot of the Celtic festivals are still celebrated and have been continuously. So that's just an interesting fact there. So we're here to celebrate that today. Another name for Alban Arthan is Yule. So that's where we get the term like Yuletide. Yuletide means it's referring to the time of Yule. And so we hear it a lot referring to Christmas nowadays, because Christmas was set around that time. But Christmas is a day, whereas Alban Arthan, or Yule, is a celebration, a Celtic celebration that lasts 3 to 7 days. The Celts celebrations happened over a couple of days. It wasn't just one day, because they included setup and takedown and all of that in part of the festivities. The whole time was supposed to be people coming together, working together, and enjoying the season. So that's where it differs. And so Yule actually refers to that celebration as well. It only later was adopted as another description of Christmas, but that's not where the term Yule comes from. The second thing I'd like to show you here quick, I'm just going to show you a little snippet of something I posted on my YouTube. You can find my YouTube here. You can just look me up, Sentinel Sam. I believe I have the link to my channel somewhere on my Twitter. But I should be easy enough to find if you just look up Sentinel Sam. And here I have a cover that I made of the Mongoose Clan's anthem, Winger. Or the song is Rat Race by Winger. Winger is an amazing band. They're my favorite band. I give them lots of shout outs because I love them. But so this is me in my first time doing like a performance or a public sort of or a public display of my choir knowledge. I took choir from elementary school all the way through college, And so I had a lot of experience. I gained a lot of experience during that time, and I also took other music classes and things. So that was something that I took pretty seriously. However, once I left college, I didn't really have a musical community around me, and so I just kind of faded out of that area of my life and didn't really apply it. So this is my first kind of attempt coming back to apply that again in a public way. So it's been a while, so I'm probably a little rusty. And also in this, I'm trying, this is my first time publicly trying a rock or metal style of singing, which I've spent a decent amount of time on my own, kind of working on that more as a hobby or a recreational thing, or when you're like singing in the car. I would work on this, but it wasn't like a dedicated focus on becoming a rock singer. It was just kind of because I liked listening to this kind of music, so I started trying to replicate the sounds and figuring out some of the things that you can do in a rock style. So I don't know how, technically how good it is, but I gave it a shot, and I wanted to let you guys see how I did. And if you liked it, I am happy. If you don't like it, that's fine too. Feel free to give me some tips or info that places that I might have made some mistakes. But either way, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm going to let you hear a snippet of it now, but I'm going to encourage you to go check it out on my YouTube, or I also have it posted on my Twitter. So I'm going to encourage you guys to go check out the full song there. So let's see. First we got to turn off the music that's been causing me so much trouble. There we go. And
trapped in this town where the sun never shines, in a train underground, we're lost in the tunnel of time. Day after day, at the sound of the gun, we fight for positions, elbow to elbow we run. Our names and our numbers are scrawled in our backs. Don't ever look down, man, you'll fall through the cracks. Spinning our wheels in this rat race, shifting gears, they go round and round. You know how it feels at this fast pace. Run for your life, you can never slow down.
all right, that's where we're going to stop it for now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that. Give it a listen, and let me know what you think. I'm going to be doing more of these, but it's going to take a little bit of practice for me. I've spent a couple of weeks kind of working on this one on and off. So I'm still getting in the swing of things, getting comfortable with doing this sort of stuff, and I still need to work out, some audio things, because obviously you can hear I'm not, that the audio isn't perfect. So there's some things that could be done yet on my part. So they're not going to be perfect, but I'm going to continue to do things like this every once in a while because I enjoy it and I want to share with you guys. Also, if you have any songs that you would like me to sing, let me know, because I will take a look at it and consider it. I can't promise that I'll be singing a certain song. Most I would probably sing, but there's some for either content reasons or for if it's just not really in my range, that I might decide not to sing certain songs. But overall, I generally take any song that you guys would suggest. So those are my two major announcements today. Also, I should say there's a third announcement. I am working with a new vocal setup here, mic setup. I'm using the new one of the new Maono mics that was on sale on Amazon. That comes with the full setup with an arm and all those things. So I was prior to this, I was working with a very old Blue Yeti mic, and it worked fine for me, but I had a lot of issues with the cord, and I didn't have an arm or a proper pop shield. So it's a lot nicer to have this setup, and it's cleaner. I actually prefer this mic to the Blue Yeti. Sound-wise, I don't notice a whole lot of difference, which is good. But I would say this, for me, I think sounds a little better. But they're both, in terms of how they would sound, they're both good mics. But in terms of the construction in other ways, I would say this mic is very nice, and I prefer it over the Blue Yeti. So that's, I have a few pictures and things on Twitter if you guys want to check that out at all. But those are the announcements for today. So now we're going to just take a look at YouTube again. We're going to scroll around, have some fun. Nothing crazy today, but I wanted to get on and spend some time with you guys. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season, and I hope that I can bring you some joy. I know some people out there have a hard time during the holidays because they might not be, it might not be what society tells you to expect. But I just want you all to know that if you're here, if you're part of the Mongoose clan, we care about you and we appreciate you. And you're always welcome here. So if you're ever feeling alone or down or anything like that, we're here for you. And that especially applies to days like today. So let's see. What can we look at today? This is a new video from Stephen He. Let's check it out. Again, go give the original artists, go check out their videos, give them support. Because we don't want to. I'm gonna head up. Because even though I'm reacting to this, I want him to get support as well. He's a great creator, and so if you get when you get the chance, go check him out.
I'm gonna head up, getting some Christmas gifts. 10 days left till Christmas.
All right, let's see.
Amazon gift guide. Okay. Beans? Who wants beans for Christmas? Deodorant? He's gonna think I'm telling him he smells 50 Shades of Grey? I'm gonna get one of those for myself. Okay, what about his girlfriend? Okay, let's see.
Dating corn.
So we know you've had a big year and we wanted to match it with a worthy gift. We went above and beyond. You know how you've always wanted a handmade sweater? Oh my God, you remember! That's so thoughtful of you. So this sweater came all the way from Ireland.
They put this much effort into a gift?
From a sheep named Mary Isabel III.
Does it play the piano too?
Knitted by an entire village.
Oh, I love it.
My turn. You're gonna love this.
No.
Yep.
Is that gel blaster surge? 8 gels per second, single blast, or full auto?
Rechargeable battery? Don't tell me that's USB though.
You know that's a USB-C, boy. Eco-safe, no
USB-C.
mess pellets. What? Adjustable velocity. Whoa. Gel blast over 100 feet.
That's like a basketball court away though.
You know how many pellets it holds?
Tell me how many pellets it holds.
800.
Oh shit!
We should totally get the pellets ready.
Yes, let's do it. Oh wait, but first we gotta open a gift from Steven. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Here's congrats on the great year. I hope you like it.
Thank you very much.
He got him the beans.
Beans? I like beans. This video is brought to you by Gel Blaster. Gel Blaster
figured.
is an eco-friendly and mess-free blaster that uses
I
gellets
was gonna
that you
say,
can grow
when they were
yourself.
going into that much detail on that box and it wasn't wrapped up, I was gonna say, yeah, that looks like a sponsor.
Oh! He juked you!
Where's my mouse? Come on. Why is my mouse always disappearing on me? All right, daily dose of internet. We'll check this out. Again, another great creator. It's just fun. So make sure to go check out his channel and give him support as well.
Hello everyone, this is your yearly dose of internet.
Ready? Mix it up, mix it.
Hey, babe. Would you still love me if I was fat?
But Mom, you are fat!
Ooh.
I can't do it. My tummy hurts.
What? I've seen this. Wait, what? Oh shit.
This
there
guy
was a raccoon
overinflated a
in there.
basketball.
Oh man, poor guy, lost his home. What?
What's your craziest college experience?
Wait, I would have
What's your craziest college experience?
ouch.
This YouTuber was told that it would cost $23,000 to replace the battery in his 8-year-old Tesla. So instead, he decided to blow it up with dynamite.
Yeah. Take that, Tesla. Oh, jeez. See the makeup. Oh man. Oh, and it took her eyelash off. Or the fake eyelash.
Bully. You can't even. What are you hitting him with? You have no other arm.
I think it's my mom.
All right, I know it's been a while.
Wait,
Have you ever seen a cow that looks like The Rock?
yeah, I've seen this.
This museum has a screener to see if you'd be able to vote in the United States back in 1870.
Are you white? No. Are you man? No.
Ouch.
This twitch.
Are you white? No. Are you man? No.
I am.
This Twitch streamer is proof that you shouldn't believe everything you see on the internet.
I will quickly show you why I have a green screen today. I am not making my bet today.
We're gonna swing by.
What?
I am not making my bet today.
We're gonna swing by, pick up some coffee. Holy cow!
Oh my God.
See that thing?
Yeah.
These students
The fact
were
that
playing
somebody
musical
had
chairs when
had
one
those
student thought of a
garments
big brain
made for
move.
this guy.
When one student thought of a big brain move.
Yeah, keep going. What?
Were those pants?
The police came to arrest this guy hiding in a hotel room, but he had other plans instead.
You just keep putting your don't tense up, man. Don't tense up, man. Where are you going?
Excuse me, miss, do you by any chance work at a library?
I do not.
That's so crazy, because just like a book, I'm checking you out.
Hi.
Hi.
Would you choose money or
Aw, that's
happiness?
cute.
Sleep.
Nice.
Depress brake pedal to start? Okay. You are a failure. Nobody loves you. Die.
You got covered up.
Yeah.
Scientists found this weird, uncoordinated frog species that can jump, but almost never lands on their feet.
Would you rather marry someone right now that your parents picked out or be single for the rest of your life?
I'm an orphan.
All right.
Ooh. Ouch.
Duncan. 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 Duncan.
These people threw some money into a wishing well.
What'd you wish for? What do you think I wished for?
Excuse me? Can I record you? What's the coolest thing you found here?
Best thing?
Yeah, what's the best thing?
You three, but my wife let me bring you.
Smooth.
Okay, he's like a 10, but his eyebrows
That
are just like a little.
reaction.
Okay, he's like a 10, but his eyebrows are just like little dots on his head.
MashaAllah.
The car's in front of you, next to you. You can even detect this pedestrian here. Check it out. And it even can detect the difference between a sedan and a pickup truck.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I understand his being scared. That was a big dog that was just kind of chilling there. I totally get Aww. It was hungry. Oh.
I'm hungry, I'm not gonna lie. What is that? Bro, is that a Dunkin' Donut?
What is this doggo sitting down here? Hello, doggo.
The dog doesn't give a shit.
Care about my appearance? No issues? I love you regardless. Good doggy.
This poor guy is the only person that doesn't know what the magician did with the ball.
He just flung cat litter out of the box. He's probably gonna do it again. Oh my god.
Oh.
I didn't know you had brown hair when you were younger.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Just
My
a
God.
hole in the bog there. Just whoop.
I didn't know you had brown hair when you were younger. Oh no, that's my brother. Oh, dude, Bella changed a lot.
This dog was blown away by this magic trick.
that double take. That was a perfect double take right there with that dog. Just
This dog
watch
was
this.
blown away by this magic trick.
Looks right at the camera.
Come back in the house.
Hello?
Oh. Come on, dude. What?
A raccoon
Damn.
chased this woman and her dog inside the house. This guy wanted to see what would happen if he screamed while his dogs were playing.
What's this? Okay, I like it. Picasso. Do it that way.
Our dogs climb trees, they are fine.
This guy went to a celebrity meet and greet and tried to sneak a video when no cell phones were allowed.
You can do it. You can do it, Snowball. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Oh.
Oh.
Two.
This person had a construction crew working on something in her yard when they got a little too close. These guys made a cool animation using grass clippings.
Nice.
That makes me question getting married. Can you like think of me?
Okay.
Oh. Why?
BMW made a car that can change colors.
I feel like a lot of people associate bad
It's gotta
video
be
quality with
expensive.
a potato, but honestly, I feel like the quality isn't that bad. I mean, it's not like great, but it's not horrible.
Allow me.
Nice.
So why
Very
couldn't this
well done.
automatic faucet detect his hand, but it could detect this paper towel?
It's because they're designed to detect a certain
Here's
skin
an extreme
tone.
close-up of a
And,
wire getting cut.
That right there, that's an
This paper
example
towel.
of that happens quite a bit with things like that because they set it to detect a white skin tone, and so then they don't work for people with
Here's an extreme
dark enough
close-up
skin.
of a
So yeah, that's where you talk about systematic issues with racism. It's not something that somebody necessarily intentionally did, although maybe they did, but it was just one of those oversights that, now this doesn't work for, a huge majority of the population. So I think I don't think that happens a lot anymore, but I've definitely heard about that being quite an issue.
Here's an extreme close-up of a wire getting cut. This person was waiting in her car when someone tried to break in. The car had tinted windows, so the guy didn't know she was inside.
Excuse
What
you.
an amateur.
Please do not attempt, as this is a professional. This is what happens when you put liquid nitrogen in a plastic bottle.
Nice.
What is
Cool.
your New Year's
Don't let
resolution?
your cat do that.
I don't have any. To live another year. Oh, hopefully not.
I found a gym bro that has mastered physics. People inside this house were watching a scary movie and totally forgot that they ordered some food delivery. This is what happens when you drop a cup on the floor in a military cafeteria. This truck had absolutely no respect for this tent that was using the crosswalk.
Stop. Shut up.
Come on, Harper, you can do it.
See what that usually means when a cat is gets that defensive during clippings. That probably means you've hurt your cat in the past. So you need to be, it's one of those things. You got to develop that trust, and you have to be really careful that you don't hit those nerves when you clip a cat's nails. If you're unsure if you can do it, you should bring it to a professional. You should bring your pet to a professional groomer to do it properly, because that trust is really important. Because once they start developing those very defensive habits, it becomes very hard to do those, basic maintenance things that are, quality of life things that make their lives better. So you need to be careful when cutting claws.
Come on, Harper, you can do it.
Aww. Ouch.
These two delivery guys race each other to the front door. For some reason, a bat latched onto the collar of this cat.
That's cute.
Hey, Dad, you were supposed to buy Swiss cheese.
That's the size of your body.
Ouch.
And it's like,
Ouch.
Great, now none of us can watch TV. That's my TV! No crap, that's why I'm freaking stealing it. Call on the cops.
She was on her way inside when a sudden wind blew up her dress, which distracted this driver, and he ended up crashing his car.
Wait, what?
And he ended up crashing on her way inside when a sudden wind blew up her dress, which distracted this driver, and he ended up crashing his car.
Hello. She wants to come in, Tessa.
Of course she does. Aww.
These guys found a really bouncy glass bottle.
That's what I say. Oh my god!
Oh shit, you got corona.
Oh man, no, I don't.
No,
Come on, man.
You do got corona.
This is probably the most dramatic video you'll see today.
I got split. Run. Oh, we made it.
One of my subscribers recorded a video of someone playing Tetris on the side of a building.
Oh, that's funny.
Earth, like planet?
Whoa.
This tortoise was upside down, so this other tortoise went over to help out.
No, save the tortoise. Oh no!
Oh.
This guy wanted to test out the automatic parallel parking feature on his car.
Dang, it's going too fast.
I had no idea flying fish could stay in the air for this long.
Yep.
Going shopping, yeah. What's up?
I mean, they don't normally fly that long, but if they catch a good
Sorry to bother you. Is it okay if you can just hold these?
wind vane, they can fly for a while.
Have a lovely day.
I think I found the perfect device for people who want to game and snack at the same time. This photographer used a stabilized camera to capture Earth's rotation.
Besties, I just got off work, so don't look up here. Besties, I just got off work, so don't look up here.
These were the best videos of 2022 as chosen by you, the viewers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Later.
That was good. Yeah, Daily Doses of Internet always has good videos. Now let's see what we got. "20 best butterbean knockouts." Let's take a look at that.
Weighing in at
Butterbean is a
330
classic
pounds.
boxer. He looks like a tub of lard, but he hits hard.
Wearing the stars and bars. Presenting the undisputed 4-round super heavyweight champion of the world, Butterbean. The most well-recognized faces in professional boxing, the king of the four.
With a record of 1 win and 1 loss. With a professional record of 11 wins, no losses, 7 by knockout.
Corner away from the bell.
Butterbean in between rounds, and they are into this fight. Good right by Butterbean. He made a survival ball. He's not punching much. Not much behind it. He just reaches out to hold on. Good body work by Butterbean.
To try a left hook to the body, then go upstairs. Now he's uppercutting.
The interesting thing that...
Unfortunately, he walks into the best punch of the fight. At the end of the round, he's separating the fighters. And referees cannot protect themselves at all times the way fighters do it.
Well, the fight is stopped not because Terry Wood got knocked down, but because Pat Jackson doesn't want to go on. And one happy guy is Terry Wood, who doesn't have to ref anymore. Well, the Bean, is he get a double knockout on this one?
He certainly should.
12-2 with 2 draws, 7 KOs to his credit from his professional record. 37 victories, 29
Listen, at least this guy has some experience.
With 1 draw.
Now, obviously not as much as Butterbean, but he's got enough that
Keep your hands up.
he can start going up against bigger guys.
Going to go after Butterbean's head.
Ooh.
Much bigger.
He's trying to make Butterbean miss. Oh, he got there, but he's trying to make Butterbean miss because he knows that Butterbean
has a history of busting up, you know. Bean caught him with a left hook and dropped
Yeah,
him.
I mean, you just look at the power difference of their punches. Like he gets a really good headshot right here, but it doesn't even phase Butterbean. And then you just see just the power of Butterbean.
Bean caught him with a left hook and dropped him. Eaton shape, tribute to the commissioner. He's been in with a new nutritionist, and Eaton dropped
Yep, he's done.
Bean, target practice. Now it's all over. Well, it took more than 1 mule punch from Bean, several indeed, to drop him.
By knockout victory, he is still the king of the 4-rounders. Challenger Patrick Shamrock Grab.
5 wins, 3 lost.
With a
I would not
professional
put this
record
guy
of
against
39
Butterbean.
victories, 30 by knockout, only 1 loss with 1 draw.
No. This is 4 rounds. Touch gloves. Let's go to work.
Hello. Vaporized. He's added a little left jab to his. Butterbean. Now Graham is starting to use this jab. He can do a lot. And Butterbean
Just
counters
clubbed him.
over the top of the jab. 4, 5. With the right hand. And he eats right. He looks good. And he winks at George while you're talking to him, and then knocks Graham through the ropes with a body punch. Now, Babe Ruth, incidentally, was in the 12th row the night that
you can just
Dempsey
tell
went
the
through the ropes against Firpo. And for years afterward,
difference of
Ruth told people
experience.
that he helped to push Dempsey back into the ring.
Because Butterbean is recognizing those targets right away and going for them.
He is his own niche. Oh, the left hand, and Davis. 1 minute into the fight.
Davis wondering where he is. This fight is over. This road, 24-16-0 with 24 knockouts. He's been KO'd 6 times in his last 10 fights. And 340.
So what they're doing there with
in his last 10 fights.
that is they're using a it's a medication that basically constricts blood vessels a little bit, and so that helps prevent bloody noses, or bloody noses being worse, because since the blood vessels are have shrunk, less blood can go through there, and it's easier for your body to clot it. So that's what they're doing there.
341 slim pounds.
What's his best customer? I'm sure.
Gentlemen, touch gloves, get back to your corner, and good
Scott
luck.
Butterbean, a kind of a sideshow.
Nobody's ever heard of him before either, so that makes a difference.
Yeah, just he comes out swinging.
Going up against Marcus Road and going into the last break.
Yeah.
Butterbean.
He need to be a lot quicker, and he could be effective. He might be able to turn on a punch. Oh, he's just a sideshow.
Big ripping shots by Butterbean. And it started with the body shot with the right hand. And Road is facing a rugged road right now, trying to get, and it is over. So the Bean gasses Road in the 3rd round. The Bean, a winner again.
Great historic bout. Let's see if he can do anything here to tell.
A good right hand. Hard right hand, and Butterbean goads Craven. He is much more stationary now and more of a target for Butterbean's big cage. Nady says not behind the Bean does. His technique is standing there.
Yeah, see, nobody's trying to get him off and change the momentum. They're all just
Craven's legs weakening. You guys got to work. Back in Ellisville, Mississippi, Ken Craven's friends and family are saying, stop it.
Yeah.
And Jay Nady does. Another knockout victory for the Bean and a sorely disappointed Ken Craven.
5-3 with 3 knockouts. He was knocked out in his last fight. Tonight, 41-1 with 31 knockouts.
After having turned pro in 85. One of them against Talon.
okay. He's actually.
Butterbean, a real hand punching of his own. Butterbean missing with a right hand, scoring with a left and a right as Talon comes in.
I'll give that guy some credit, because he was actually
Well, how many fights is
making some throws. He was willing to take a few hits.
32nd knockout.
So he's already
He played the good body shot there.
already doing more than the other people.
In control in this 4-round bout as he continues to pound the overmatched Talon. 3, 4, 5.
That's not true. That is Paul Jones, the great defensive lineman from the Dallas Cowboys. O'Neal would beat him because he's a bigger guy. He's a big, strong athlete.
Butterbean's punches are just so quick.
It's a whole different sport. Butterbean's picking the right punch there. He's got a guy in front of him who's opponent in front of him to nail him a little bit, like Funmaker.
And it's done, yep.
Talon just can't. And Butterbean finishes him off here in round number 3.
Make the punches, which he did. Make the punches, the return punches miss. The right hand over top really did.
Well, Butterbean comes into Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Springer. Record of 7-0, 5 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Butterbean Edge.
From the blue corner, gentlemen, I got a lot of beef in this ring. Obey my commands at all times.
Using. You know, like most in their debut, Paul Springer can probably give it, but can he take it?
Well, Butterbean used to the 1 minute about lifted Paul Springer off the canvas, and this one is stopped right away. And Paul Springer
still undefeated, Eric Butterbean.
That wasn't even a fight.
Huge waist lines. Everybody wants their belly closer than the head, too.
You are in the wrong room. Yep.
There's also 4, 5.
he's at, and it is over.
These are heavyweights. It just takes one shot. You know, you're talking
1 and 3, introducing Dangerous Doug Norris. Undefeated with a record of 6-0, 4 KOs, introducing Eric Butterbean Edge.
I pay attention to my commands at all times. Back off, shake hands. All the way through, so you can fight 4 times, and you're seeing some tough windmilling by Butterbean. He still has that.
He's getting nailed, though, by Norris.
That KO.
Yeah, Norris is working.
See a reason why.
He's giving a good fight.
Well, it's wild now, folks, and there goes Doug Norris. Well, he never should have slugged with him. He knows that now. It's over.
The winner by knockout victory, his record now 7-0, the undefeated Eric Butterbean Edge.
1 victory, 5 defeats. He has 1 knockout. He is professional record, 16 victories, 1 defeat.
Matchup.
He has 12 knockouts.
That's a very bad matchup.
12 knockouts. He hails from Bay City.
Okay, shake hands, come out boxing.
I don't know, it's good comedy when he sees it, but Butterbean looks for the wild, free-swinging brawl. That's what he feels the fans like to see. And he is all over his opponent, James Baker, and has him down in the first round. Baker, by the way, 1 and 5, has been knocked out in the first and is over. And now the crowd of Butterbean saw Jeremy Williams with a
Professional record, 18 victories, 17 of those 18 victories by knockout, 4 losses and 1 draw. His professional record, 52 victories, 39 by KO, only 1 loss with 2 draws.
Break when I tell you to break. Touch gloves now, let's go to work.
But people do that for a couple of rounds, and then ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
Oh, geez, wow.
Oh, it didn't take long for Butterbean on the floor. I don't think he's with us. That's it.
Yeah, he's...
I have that 1 punch. Is all it took, 1 punch.
Got lucky, got out of the ring.
I'd be pissed if I were him. He didn't even get a chance to
we're listening to Butterbean right now. He's so pissed.
Tough man has won the first
I mean,
2.
that sometimes happens.
Now has the biggest task of all, literally, and so don't expect him to lay down. Gets a good left from Butterbean, trying to... Henry just hanging in there. Oh, he took a shot off balance from Edge. But he... Goodness, cheer him on! Fight on, fight on, fight on! Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. That's all. That's all.
Wins, 4 losses. He has 34 wins coming by way of knockout. His record stands at 44 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 33 wins coming by way of knockout.
I see the belt line. Stand back. Go back to your corner, touch glove, and go to work, and don't tell me I do my job again.
Let's go to this. Butterbean goes right to it. Pounds lighter than Butterbean. There's an overhand.
He's got some good defenses putting up.
Right through the glove of McNeely.
And he's trying to move around.
Fires away. Powerful punches by Butterbean. And McNeely in. Oh, a right hand by Butterbean that snapped McNeely's head back. Another uppercut. It
It's all Butterbean. McNeely ready to go. And that's it. Jane 80 steps in and stops the fight just before the bell.
The winner by way of technical knockout, and still the king of the 4-rounders.
I think that was a little early to call the fight, but it was clear that Butterbean would win.
Не рискует соваться.
But at least this guy, unlike some of the earlier guys we saw, he's moving around, he's doing some things, but he's not throwing his punches. Some of the other guys were just kind of standing there in shock, but he was at least, you know, he was moving. He was trying to find a place where he could get some foothold.
Не рискует соваться. 34 победы нокаутом. Понятно? Пресс. Кстати, не первый раз. Вовремя и издали. Действует в ринге как носорог. Он уже стал биться в грудь.
Come on, dude.
Вообще ничего не умел делать. Дурака повалять. Ну, правда, с этим противником играй.
Way too cocky and by taunting Butterbean, he's just making an ass of himself. And you know, you see Butterbean at the beginning there, he was playing into it. He's like, sure, I'll sucker punch you. Even though he's sitting there showing him he's going to sucker punch him, he still gets
Король 4 раундов бойцов. Если такие существуют в природе. Butterbean.
1-0. He comes to us from the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. 13-0, 8 KOs.
There is Butterbean. He will race across the ring and attempt to get Monaco down quickly, and by golly, that's what he did. So Monaco, who is in only his second professional fight.
Butterbean may end up having some longer tough man fights than this one here.
Just the opposite of Butterbean. He lands a good right hand. Oh, there goes Monaco. Second knockdown in this round.
Two right hands.
Monaco's got the fight in him, but you know, like I said, he's only done 2 fights. You can tell he doesn't have the experience yet, but from what I can see here, you know, he's definitely got the physicality and the fighting spirit to actually become a good fighter if he learns those techniques.
For those of you who know Tennessee, and he's never been knocked out. He's 6'7", 255 pounds. He's got a record of 4 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 1 KO, and he's next on the list for the Bean. Mitchell Rose, who sliced Butterbean up with the jab in Madison Square Garden. 22 KOs for the hard-hitting Bean.
I think this guy is
shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
We'll see how he fights.
Is a substance abuse counselor for kids. Right, fast-paced first minute.
No, he's taking some hits. Nice.
You have to lean toward Butterbean because he tilts the earth into his. Judge from Reno, Nevada.
Oh. Yeah, and he's so tall. Butterbean really has to extend it. But he still got him.
Right hand by Butterbean, and Ed White paying the price for dropping his hands so low. That'll do it.
That's it.
Crowd goes nuts. Blood streams down Butterbean's face.
And that's what a lot of people
left eye, but Ed White is gone.
Don't
1 minute,
really
14 seconds of round number 2.
With Butterbean.
The winner by TKO
just because of the shape of his body and how quickly.
The IBA 4-round super heavyweight champion, Butterbean.
Because of the shape of his body and how quickly he punches, it just kind of looks like he's flailing around. But when you see where he's connecting, Butterbean is a dead eye.
Is a substance abuse counselor for kids.
Right where he wants to, and
fast-paced first minute.
That's what makes him so dangerous. Is
you have to lean toward Butterbean.
No matter where you defend, there's an opening, and he's going to hit it, and he's going to hit it hard. So, Butterbean, although he looks like a bar fighter, he's actually a very technical fighter, and you can just see that just hitting right on the money.
Crowd goes nuts. Blood streams down Butterbean's face from the cut under his left eye, but Ed White.
The winner by rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Scott Lindecker. Scott Lindecker. His record, 31 wins, 1 loss, 24 by knockout.
Look at that face.
Right hand puts Lindecker down.
I guess not, Doug.
Ramming packages.
What do you do?
Yeah, Lindecker with a week and a half to get ready for this fight. Consider basically he's a cruiserweight, but now he goes down just getting pounded too much to the body, and he finally weakened, and that was it.
Fatigue has caught up with him here. He shows the guts to get up.
Body shots are taking it all out of him. Down goes Lindecker. Fight is over.
It shouldn't have gone that long. You can tell already,
basically,
way at the beginning here.
Right.
So he gets that first knockout.
Right hand puts Lindecker down.
I guess not, Doug.
He gets up.
Ramming packages.
Then right here, you start seeing right there when he starts to stagger. He's done. Right there, and you can tell right here he's done.
Consider basically he's
at that point,
cruiserweight, but now he goes down just getting pounded too much to the body.
That's not something that
and that was it.
You can really come back from, because basically that means is that you've taken hits to the head that are affecting your nervous system now. So he's done for the fight already way back there.
Body shots are taking it all out of him. Down goes Lindecker. Fight is over.
Winner by knockout, and still IBA Super Heavyweight Champion. His name is the Bean Man, Butterbean.
Here is Blackjack Beard. The most well-recognized faces in professional boxing, the king of the 4-rounders. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Butterbean.
Ready, Sean?
Hey, I tell you guys, I've grown to... And that's the end of the fight. And Bean says,
what are you doing, kid?
Oh, big right hand. And that dropped him. And I mean dropped him.
Bean's been waiting for that shot.
Yep.
That's it. He's still out. I mean, when you've been hit by Butterbean.
There's no losers in exhibition boxing. How about a round of applause for both Blackjack Beard and Butterbean?
And you get 10 for a big knockdown. Now fight hard and kick some ass.
Here we go, round one, brawl for all. Butterbean and Bart Gunn. And Butter. Well, I'm going to tell you, I think without a doubt, probably Butter. Ooh, wow. Both of these guys got right. Butterbean right hand and a knockdown of Bart Gunn early on. Butterbean caught Bart Gunn with a hard right hand. 27 seconds left. Oh, there's the right hand, folks. It's over. Goodbye. It's over. Butterbean.
Bart Gunn was given some hard hits, but yeah, that right there, you can't. Back here when he gets that just straight to the face. Yeah, that you can't let that happen. That was a great move. Great reaction from Butterbean. It's that left arm. He's got to get that left arm up. That's why it. That happened so quickly.
It's over. Butterbean with a first-round knockout of Bart Gunn. Butterbean with a tremendous right hand.
All right, let's see. I think we'll go for one more here. How a karate master knocked people out in UFC. This title seems a little clickbaity, but let's see what they have to say.
Trying to finish fights, and that's it! That's it! It's over!
I've talked about it on the air.
I've seen this fight.
So often we see the very technical Machida, and he hurt him! This is going to be over! Lyoto Machida!
We've heard for years that karate doesn't work in MMA.
That's not true. Some of the earliest MMA, or some of the earliest UFC fighters were karate fighters. So that's...
Then Lyoto Machida came along and proved otherwise.
There's a lot of people in MMA that have karate as a background. So that's a trope, that's a myth, that karate doesn't work in UFC. Most martial arts by themselves don't work in UFC. But karate is actually a martial art that is set pretty well to work in UFC because they train such a wide variety of things. In karate, you learn striking, you learn kicking, you learn some ground game, some ground and pound. So it's in itself, karate is pretty well-rounded. That's why it's taught in a lot of schools. It's not, you wouldn't say that karate is necessarily the best system for learning kicks or the best system for learning punches, but it's the easiest system for somebody to pick up some basics and be able to really defend themselves because it gives you a pretty well-rounded background. So, that whole thing that he's saying there where karate doesn't work in UFC, that's BS.
He got rocked! Oh, another shot! He's getting teed off on! He's down!
Performing in the most competitive arenas around the world for over 20 years, the Brazilian Dragon has earned a reputation of a cold-blooded samurai, stalking up a collection of unique knockouts. It's time to recollect the story about the Shotokan karate master who defied expectations and took the UFC championship belt. Lyoto is the third son of the famous karate practitioner Yoshizo Machida. The future clan founder was 22 years old when he moved to Brazil from the land of the rising sun. In the new country, the immigrant traveled to different cities, teaching martial arts to local people. When my father arrived in Brazil, he did not know the language. He had nothing but one suitcase full of clothes and a desire to spread karate. He dedicated his life to it. Yoshizo married a local girl who bore him 4 sons. Soon the master settled in the city of Belém and opened an academy. As soon as the brothers could walk, the father began to indulge them in the Japanese combat style. I started in martial arts when I was 3 or 4 years old. My father's main concern was to introduce us to the philosophical side of the fight. Not to become a proper athlete, but a concern with forming an upstanding citizen. The regimen at Machida's academy was strict. Each class started at 5 a.m. The These were tough conditions, and the atmosphere of absolute discipline tempered the youth. My father was very demanding with us. I complained that I didn't want to get up at 5 a.m., and he would say, above all, you must first beat yourself. At the age of 13, Lyoto received a black belt and started to compete. He defeated all the peers, yet was powerless against the older brother, Shinzo. The youngster spent 4 years trying to defeat his sibling, and when that day came, made a decision to dedicate his life to martial arts. Lyoto participated in many national tournaments. Being a devoted follower of karate, over time, he got involved in other fighting disciplines. Behind his father's back, the son explored new techniques. When I was 15 years old, I watched the UFC for the first time. I already started training jiu-jitsu and wanted to learn other styles, so I can someday compete in an event like this. Back then, Royce Gracie was shining in the octagon, defeating rivals despite being moderately sized. When Lyoto expressed the desire to compete in MMA to his father, the old master was strongly opposed to it. He considered brawling in a cage an abomination that had nothing to do with martial arts. However, the future star insisted on his wishes, regardless of Dad's disapproval. When Yoshizo accepted that Lyoto really wanted to be a fighter, he decided to introduce his son to an old friend, Antonio Inoki. The legendary Japanese pro wrestler who fought the great Muhammad Ali under a hybrid rule set in 1976 was engaged in promotional activities in the early 2000s. Soon, Machida moved to Japan, where the preparation began for his MMA debut under the new patron's guidance. For the next 3 years, Lyoto wandered around different cities in Japan, diligently developing his style. When the Brazilian was ready, Antonio Inoki set him up to participate at a major Ultimate Crush event. The 220-pound karate adherent appeared in the arena wearing an extravagant attire, chosen by creative Japanese managers. Back then, Lyoto was reluctant to use his family craft in the ring, leaning more into his wrestling instead. He dominated throughout the contest, leaving no chance for the opponent. Having won by unanimous decision, Machida received a trademark congratulation from the great mentor. The legend goes that when Antonio Inoki slaps a fighter, he becomes more successful. But then I did not know about it at all. Later, when everything was explained to me, I told him, "You could hit me in the face as much as you like." Following a successful debut, the 25-year-old Lyoto performed at a jungle fight event, crossing paths with the future TUF Season 1 finalist, Stephan Bonner.
An amazing nice guy.
This time, the prospect was completely focused on karate. The Brazilian calmly kept his distance, occasionally exploding with sharp attacks.
So fast, but you can see how he stands. Oh, Bonner then went up for a kick to the midsection and paid for it.
Bonner tried to return the favor. Even so, the skill gap was too wide.
Against the corner, gotta get him into the ropes. Another left lands and drops Bonner.
Over 5 minutes, Machida rearranged the opponent's face to such an extent that the doctors intervened and stopped the contest.
Oh my goodness! That's a good stop. That's just dangerous for the fighter. That's a really good stop.
In December 2003, Lyoto returned to Japan to share the ring with Rich Franklin. The future UFC title holder was on a streak of 14 finishes in a row and had never tasted defeat at the professional level. Machida was working the body and the head. Franklin tried to seize the initiative, but the karate expert was merciless on the counter. After another intercepting cross, he finished the bout with a classic combination Mai-Giri Gyakuzuki. With 3 victories in quick succession, Lyoto got a fight at the prestigious K1 tournament. The kickboxing world champion Michael McDonald, who had just made his MMA debut, volunteered to oppose the traditional martial art expert. In the first minute, Machida closed the distance and slammed the American to the floor. Subsequent to a short struggle, he applied heavy pressure from top half guard and pressed his forearm into the opponent's throat.
That's modern fighting.
In May 2004, the young upstart met the karate world champion and K1 legend, Sam Greco. Despite the size and experience disadvantage, Machida looked decent on the feet and swayed the judges in his favor by implementing grappling. A year later, he fought the wandering UFC 170-pound king, BJ Penn, who at that time held a record of 9-1. In the first round, Penn found the mark with signature hooks. But faded quickly, which the Brazilian capitalized on, winning by unanimous decision. Soon, Machida was on his way to the States for a new career chapter. The former local league champion Vernon White welcomed him. Lyoto was one step ahead for 3 rounds, taking a unanimous decision.
Oh, man, he walked right into a left hand by Machida. And White, oh, look at this. Oh, that was a beautiful...
6 months later, in 2006, the organization was purchased by the UFC. And so, at the age of 28, the Brazilian found himself on the Ultimate Promotions roster. When Machida first appeared in the UFC, many doubted the effectiveness of karate, and some went so far as to say that the traditional martial arts representatives were doomed in modern MMA. Therefore, the Dragon, as the Brazilian was called in America, had to not...
That at a very young age, without telling his father, spent time training in other martial arts disciplines, and then even went to train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is literally the martial art that UFC was developed to market. So, yeah. And then he goes on, even in karate, he does karate competitions, so actual fighting, not just training the techniques. He did actual in-ring fighting, and then he continued on also in other fighting rings and other fighting promotions in different styles. And so this is hardly a traditional martial artist. Most martial artists that fight in UFC and in things like that have some traditional martial arts background. It's no different.
Only realize personal ambitions in the octagon, but also prove the viability of his father's teachings. Lyoto joined the light...
This whole thing that, they have here where he's, this traditional martial artist, that's all a marketing gimmick. That's all it is. This guy is, no more special than any other martial artist walking into the ring. He worked hard and he developed his technique in fights and by trying new things. That's pretty much that's what you do to train for something like UFC.
Heavyweight division and kicked off the journey to the top. During the first 8 months on the biggest scene, he scored 3 straight wins, displaying immaculate distance control.
And he caught him again.
And spearing attacks.
More than anything else. Yeah, he looks very frustrated. There's another left. Trying to get the knee. Got 1, got 2, got 3, got 4, 5, 6, 7. Knees from Machida goes he.
Having asserted himself, Machida entered the title race and got a big noise upon...
For the record, I'm not, talking down Machida. He worked hard and he trained hard, and his training shows. I'm just saying that it's not this whole mystical thing about it, he being a karate master that, blew everybody's minds. The only people's minds it blew were the people who fell for the marketing. It was so.
opponent, none other than Sokuju. Nicknamed as the African Killer, he possessed monstrous power and was famous for a series of jaw-dropping upsets in Pride FC. He was a guy that everyone was afraid of because he had knocked out Ricardo Arona and Minotauro Nogueira.
Here we go!
However, when push came to shove, the explosive Cameroonian had nothing for the cold-blooded sniper.
High kick. Oh, good. But Joe, as you pointed out, he got caught. Sokuju got caught. And now Machida trying to take advantage.
After futile attempts to finish the opponent with ground and pound, the Dragon passed to side control and squeezed the vice of the arm triangle.
Sokuju's going to sleep. It is all over.
Now, the Brazilian was swimming with the great white sharks. The former champion Tito Ortiz was recovering from the loss of his belt and desperately wanted to get back on the right track.
Here we go!
Machida was moving around the cage nonchalantly, throwing snappy kicks.
Straight left hand. Oh! His first win since October of 2006. Machida
that was a good
and win since October of 2000.
Good awareness by Machida right there, because that was a good shoot.
Win since October of 2006.
And getting out of the way of that shoot, that was a good,
and even managed to take Ortiz down.
Oh, he takes down Ortiz!
In the third round, the Karate Kid delivered a piercing knee to the liver
Ortiz is down.
and chased a finish.
Finish it! Machida pounding away on Tito Ortiz!
Nevertheless, the bad guy recovered quickly and attempted a triangle armbar with 30 seconds left.
Triangle! Unbelievable! 30 seconds remains! Can he finish it? 25 seconds remains!
Lyoto showed resiliency and made it to the bell for a decision win.
I wish this was a 5-rounder. What a battle! Lyoto!
Following this success, people finally respected his style. Dana White pointed out that the Dragon would become extremely difficult for anyone to hit. With a record of 13-0, he entered a title eliminator against the audacious and unbeaten Thiago Silva. Also an owner of 13 victories in a row, he was considered as one of the brightest prospects in MMA.
You ready? Fight!
From the word go, Thiago stepped on the gas, trying to impose back-and-forth exchanges. But Machida stopped the onslaught with brilliant counterattacks.
Yeah, and what we've seen,
and during the next 3 minutes,
has been shown in this video the entire time, Lyoto is really good at keeping that distance and at being at a good place to counterattack. And so that's where what makes him special in some ways, because of his experience and training, not because of something else, but just because he was so experienced and so well trained that he was able to have that discipline to keep the space where it needed to be. And that's a valuable skill to have in the ring, because as we were watching Butterbean before with his knockouts, that was the problem a lot of those other people were having, was they weren't able to keep the proper distance that they needed. Lyoto does that very well, and he's which allows him, with those counter strikes that he knows how to do, it allows him to be an aggressor even when the momentum is against him. So even though he's backing up,
several times.
He can still be the aggressor.
Wear them out, but big left to Machida. A lot, Joe. You and I've talked about it on the air. Again with a nice combination.
Yet Silva would not stay down. The last seconds of the initial stretch were about to expire when Lyoto finally put an end to the confrontation.
And give you the opportunity to prepare one. He throws at you. It's over. And it's all over. This fight has been stopped. Watch as he passes. Boom. Right through.
A picture-perfect work by the virtuoso secured a shot at the belt. Back in those days, Rashad Evans was the king of the UFC light heavyweight mountain. Sugar wielded devastating power and held an unblemished record. It was a historic fight for the promotion, the first time two undefeated athletes collided for the crown.
Here we go!
Both fighters spent the opening couple minutes feeling each other out until Lyoto blasted the signature karate special.
Many styles. Oh! He got hurt! Machida looking to close it out! Machida's all over Rashad here!
The champion made it to the next round, but things only got worse from there.
Oh! Big quick hands! But Rashad fires back.
Machida patiently waited for an opportunity before bursting with a same-time counter.
And say K1 or in professional boxing. Oh, Rashad's in big trouble. He got rocked.
And completing the task at hand.
Rashad trying to regain his consciousness. That's what he took in the body. Oh, another shot. He's getting teed off on. He's down. He's out. It's all over. And here's the straight left hand, excuse me.
One of the most memorable knockouts in UFC history won the Dragon the coveted gold.
Gamely hanging in there, but that final left just shuts the lights out.
And gifted the legendary Rashad face meme to the community. It was the culmination for me. I am the new champion. All the trajectory in my life was going through my head at that moment. I could look back and see that it was all worth it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Machida era.
The first to dispute Lyoto's claim to the throne was the former Pride Grand Prix conqueror, Mauricio Hua. Shogun was predominantly leading the dance, investing into powerful kicks. Machida relied on his counterpunching and clinch work, exploding with flurries once in a while.
Nice knees to the body by Machida. Joe's taken away from his offense. Again with that. Here we go. Lyoto Machida now swinging away. History coming into tonight. Nice knee.
The confrontation lasted all 5 rounds in this manner, culminating in a razor-thin decision victory for the defending king.
This title fight.
The result caused a great deal of controversy, and the promotion decided to set up a rematch. Despite suffering a broken arm during the training camp, the Dragon refused to pull out of the contest.
Here we go!
Many expected another chess match, only to be shocked in the opening round.
And that could have nice knee to the body. He got rocked. Shogun with the full mount. He's the new UFC light heavyweight champion. As soon as he got the full mount, Lyoto was in deep, deep trouble, and there he's out.
Machida fell short for the first time and lost the title. I trained hard for this fight, but I lost. This is the essence of MMA. Sometimes you win, and sometimes you lose. I have no excuses. He was better than me and deserved the victory. Lyoto was shaken up by this setback, although the one who got the most affected by it was the old master Yoshizo. Being extremely concerned about the health consequences, he suggested a retirement from MMA. Even though the son understood his father's worries well, the response was a firm no nonetheless.
Here we go!
Lyoto reappeared in the octagon 6 months afterwards to face a former champion, Quinton Jackson. The first 10 minutes were uneventful. In the third round, the Brazilian found the mark with a patented intercepting combo.
Oh, he got rocked. Machida swarming in. Big kick and a knee. Rampage explodes in return. Wow!
Rampage responded with an attempt to repeat the legendary slam.
Rampage Jackson special. They're back to their feet.
The judges awarded the split decision victory to the American, while most fans saw it the other way around. Even Jackson himself admitted defeat.
Machida whooped my ass tonight. I'm so ashamed of myself. My coach is gonna get mad at me.
When fighters come back from a knockout, they start fighting differently. But I was still the same. I wanted to keep it standing and had belief in my karate. In April 2011, Machida was presented with an opportunity to retire the multiple-time UFC title holder, Randy Couture, who had won 3 scraps back-to-back at 47 years old and was still in the hunt for the crown.
We go!
Captain America tried to apply pressure. Lyoto's counters were on point.
Distance. Ryan in his corner tonight. Ryan, a mixed martial artist himself. An outstanding one.
By confusing the veteran with trickery, the Dragon lived up to the moniker.
Oh my goodness! It's all over! Oh my God! Wow! No can defend. Look at that. Brilliant. Right on the chin, and Randy goes down.
Nidangiri, a picturesque jumping front kick, sent Couture packing and his tooth flying. Another masterpiece from the Brazilian that forever entered the hit parade of the best knockouts in UFC history. Following this success, Machida proceeded to challenge for the ultimate prize. At that point, the strap was wrapped around the waist of the young John Jones, who violently took it from Shogun Rua and then annihilated Rampage.
And he's going to do that again.
Relaxed as always, Lyoto looked great at the outset, closing the distance with lightning speed and splitting the counterpart's timing. He was faster and more accurate, becoming the first to win a round against Jones in the octagon.
Oh! Pushing forward again is Machida. Decided to try to take this fight to the ground. Good kick to the body.
Like any good champion, John Jones figured he can't fight me standing. In the next round, he took me to the ground and cut me up with an elbow. The blood began to pour into my eyes, and I was seeing 3 Joneses at once. After the intermission, the champion started advancing boldly and caught the Dragon coming in.
When he uses wrestling.
John dragged the Brazilian to the cage and clamped on a high elbow guillotine.
Trying to finish this fight.
The only salvation was the referee intervention.
It is all over. It is all over. Wow. John Jones remains.
Subsequent to a failed attempt to regain the title, 34-year-old Machida moved to the U.S. to get out of the comfort zone and change the training environment. The next obstacle was an accomplished wrestler, Ryan Bader, with a 14-2 record.
Scheduled for 5-minute rounds.
Lyoto was floating around the octagon in the usual stance, wielding his favorite Maigiris.
And when he gets loose, he can be...
Frustrated Bader charged forward and paid a heavy price.
Me on the Ultimate Fighter again. Pushing it forward. And it is all over. That is the problem.
Kyakuzuki, the classic short straight punch from karate, secured the 5th UFC finish for Lyoto and handed Bader the first career knockout loss.
Placement, perfect timing.
Simple and effective.
Fighter again. Pushing it forward.
In February 2013, Machida was set to collide with the former Pride and Strikeforce champion, Dan Henderson. Hendo came to the UFC riding a wave of victory over Fyodor and had not lost in 3 years.
Underway.
He immediately tried to land the patented H-bomb. The Karate Kid was elusive.
Of Lyoto. And Dan clinches him.
And even executed beautiful trips from the clinch.
Taken down by Machida. Takes Dan down. Oh, big shot by Lyoto.
Lyoto kept the veteran at bay using his signature kicks.
Powerful shot to the body. A lot of feints. Oh, jumping front kick to the face. Oh, high kick.
As a result, the lackluster bout went to a decision, and the judges sided with the Brazilian. He reclaimed the #1 spot in the rankings, and instead of waiting for a title shot, accepted a fight with the 7th-ranked rising contender, Phil Davis.
Here we go! Nice right leg kick. Answered in a great combination.
Machida was successful in the beginning. However, having witnessed the Dragon's striking arsenal, Davis promptly decided to switch to wrestling.
Get the takedown, yes. Brazil. Lyoto wanted to push forward and they clinch. Great
I
job.
remember in his early days, he trained with a wrestling coach.
Right hand. Another beautiful right hand. Let's see if Phil can finish it. He does.
Lyoto came back in the 3rd round, banking the closing 5 minutes, but the judges turned away from him this time.
Mr. Wonderful!
After suffering yet another defeat, the Brazilian entertained...
You know, going back to that, how you talk about traditional karate and showing that it could work in the UFC. Here's just one example of where when he was fresh, coming into the UFC, he had all this experience with other martial arts, jiu-jitsu and wrestling. But he was also skilled enough that for most of the people he fought, he didn't really need to go there. And so over time, you can tell that he's forgotten his jiu-jitsu and wrestling and his ground game. You know, it's not completely, because, you know, he does some of it, but, you know, he's not nearly as disciplined with that as he is with his karate. And that's where his weak point is, and that's where he's losing. And so it's, you know, that's the thing. You know, I was hoping that, you know, when they were talking about this, when he went to America, I was hoping that was kind of getting that change that he needed to start bringing back some of those other techniques he'd trained. But now, you know, it seems like he's in that, you know, he's kind of fallen into that comfort zone with karate, which, to be fair, for the most part, was working for him. But because of that, he neglected the areas that kept his whole fighting game strong. And so now he's just standing on karate when he had more to administer, and that's where he's starting to lose.
The idea of dropping down in weight class. In recent bouts, he looked much smaller than his opponents, who overwhelmed him with size. So a decision was made to storm the 185-pound division. The UFC matched him up against a teammate, the number 5 ranked Mark Munoz. They headlined an event in England.
They touch gloves and we are underway.
For more than 3 minutes, the Dragon lulled Munoz to sleep with feints in order to get the job done with a single blow.
Output and trying to finish fights, and that's it. That's it. It's over. Just like that. You just nailed it. That Machida carries, especially in the middleweight division, right through. Machida carries, especially in the middleweight division, right through.
Mawashi Giri Jodan, a traditional karate kick, was powerful enough to break through the Mexican's block. Machida saw the opportunity to pounce, and being a true martial artist, preferred to refrain.
Moving for the kill and decided not to.
Now firmly in the top 5, Lyoto clashed with the former Strikeforce and Dream champion, Gegard Mousasi, for the number 1 contender status. The Brazilian stayed out of the rival's range, inflicting damage with powerful kicks.
Big kick from Machida! Unexpected flurries from Lyoto Machida. Oh, beautifully done. Mousasi kind of abandoned.
By the late rounds, the karate practitioner entered a flow state, showcasing the whole deadly toolbox.
Ooh, nice. That was a risky move, but
well,
he let
Mousasi
it
has
go.
had his moments. Nice right hand from Machida.
Machida reigned supreme by unanimous decision and earned another title opportunity at the age of 36. The UFC middleweight ruler at the time was the undefeated Chris Weidman, who had recently shocked the world by knocking out the longtime king, Anderson Silva.
We are underway.
From the opening seconds, the American mixed up strikes with takedowns.
Lyoto's got to up. There's
That's
the
a good
shot
shoot.
again. Just past the midway point of this title fight.
He applied constant pressure, preventing the challenger from finding the right beat.
And down again.
The bout reached the championship rounds. Many have already written off the bleeding Lyoto, but it was at this moment when the Dragon spread his wings.
Good left hook by Lyoto.
Machida became more aggressive, trying to starch the opponent with every punch.
Machida again.
Machida tagged him again. Weidman's hurt.
We got ourselves a fight. Wow, a lot of support for the Brazilian.
Exhausted, he kept trying to finish the All-American till the very end. But time was of the essence.
Trying to pull off a miracle. By Machida. 8 seconds. Machida firing away.
The judges unanimously awarded the win to Weidman. That evening, Lyoto was as close as ever to recapturing the throne, yet he was classy in defeat.
What a fight.
Following a misstep, the Brazilian got back into action against CB Dalloway, who had won 4 of the last 5. It took the Dragon 1 minute to get the rival out of there.
So often we see the very technical Machida, and he hurt him.
Early body shot by Machida. Dalloway in all sorts of trouble. Lyoto Machida. How about it?
Mawashi Giri Chudan, a body kick right to the liver, folded the American in half. Another knockout from Machida, and the 8th post-fight bonus. This victory reinstated him in the title conversation. But then a really rough patch began in the 37-year-old Lyoto's journey. He suffered 3 losses in a row against the new elite of the middleweight division.
From Romero, Huge elbows. That's it. Yoel Romero.
Rumors of retirement started to go around. For the first time in my career, I tasted 3 defeats in a row. This was another obstacle on my path I had to overcome.
And again, it's because he didn't have his ground game polished.
The news broke out that shortly before his 40th birthday, the veteran would test Eric Anders, who was considered to be a rising power with a perfect 10-0 record. Machida opened as a huge underdog. As if the pressure wasn't enough, the event took place in Belém, the Dragon's backyard. Despite all the odds, Lyoto pleased the home crowd with a long-awaited victory. And Anders said goodbye to the precious 0 in the defeat column.
And moving forward there. But here we go, back to the same old story. Body kick from Machida. Fires to Lyoto, the Dragon!
Having won for the first time in 3 years, in May 2018, Machida stood across Vitor Belfort. The former champion was far from his peak, coming off a hard-earned win nonetheless. The Dragon spent a whole round mesmerizing the compatriot with feints, in order to seal the deal with a single snap at the right time.
Ooh.
Ironically, it was the same Mai Giri Jadan that ended Randy Couture's career, and now Belfort suffered a similar fate. The seasoned warrior's athleticism may have diminished over the years, while the skill remains intact forever.
Lyoto, the Dragon, Machida!
The 40-year-old Lyoto had fought out his contract with the UFC. The promotion wanted to renegotiate, but Bellator offered better terms. After 11 years and 24 appearances, the Dragon left the Absolute promotion. In his debut, Lyoto faced the previous belt owner, Rafael Carvalho, who had just lost the title in the last outing. Despite suffering a broken nose in the first frame, Machida continued to push forward daringly, unleashing the versatile kicking arsenal.
His foray in MMA later this month as Machida catches Carvalho. Front kick by Machida, Superman's abilities. Machida!
Summoning all the strength and will, the vet clawed out the final 5 minutes and the decision win. Getting some traction, the Dragon encountered Chael Sonnen, a part-time prizefighter at that point. The American gangster tried to push the action until Lyoto floored him with a debilitating knee. Sonnen survived to see the next round, but never learned the lesson. Another juicy knockout in the Karateka's collection. With this victory, the old dog entered the list of top contenders, only to suffer a series of setbacks. He lost close decisions to old acquaintances, Mousasi, Davis, and Bader, although making good account of himself in these bouts. The real turning point was the loss of the 44-year-old veteran to Fabian Edwards.
Rashad Evans.
He's got it. Machida's in massive trouble.
Lyoto Machida is a true martial artist in every sense of the word. Coming from a karate background and beating the best of his generation, the traditional martial arts aficionado made the whole world respect his style.
He's getting teed off on. He's down.
Today, the Brazilian's career is close to its conclusion, but no matter what happens next, the Dragon's achievements will undoubtedly have a place in MMA history books. Karate is often written as karate-do. Do is the way, same as in judo. The way is the philosophy. Respect people. Don't step over your principles. Persist, because adversaries will be along the entire way, not only inside the competition, but in your life. Sometimes it doesn't seem that you're going to make it, but you keep going. That's the warrior's way.
Often we see the very technical Machida, and he heard him. This is going to be over. He got rocked. Machida swarming in.
Unexpected flurries from the other. Nice right leg kick.
Yeah.
Great combination.
the...
talked about it on the air. He's down to the
If you like this video, use your karate skills to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. And most importantly,
it was
vote for sport.
Very good. He's a very good fighter, and that was a cool little overview of stuff that he's done. I just don't like the this whole marketing scheme of how karate is making it like this underdog story of karate being something that doesn't work in the UFC and all that sort of stuff. That's just not the case. Ryota had a lot of experience going into the UFC and a lot of training, and he should have been there. He earned his place in the UFC as a fighter, not because of his karate. And this is coming from someone who has a background in karate. I have nothing against karate. That's my first major foray into martial arts was with karate, and that's still where the main wheelhouse of my fighting comes from, is karate, and a little bit of Muay Thai and Wing Chun is kind of where I fall with what I've used. I don't have a good ground game, but that's one of the reasons I was pointing that out. He really should have spent some time going back to that ground game that he originally started with when he got into fighting, because it's clear he completely threw that out at coming near the end of his career. But yeah, so that was an interesting watch. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you're doing well. I wish you all continued happy Alban, Arthan, or Yule, and I will see you next time. Oh, I almost forgot, actually. We are going to raid. Let's see, so who are we going to raid today? I don't know, we'll see if there's anybody actually on. I might not raid if there's nobody that I... Okay, we can go to our friend here. We go by Zeta Hoishi. So we're going to raid them, and for people who, if you watch the VOD afterwards, go and check them out as well. And so we're going to jump in on the raid as soon as I get this set up properly. Okay, so we're about to jump into it here. Remember, as always, treat Zettai Hoishi with the same dignity and respect as you treat me, and enjoy their stream. And I hope you guys have a good day. All right, I will see you guys later.